What I am going to teach you today is something that nobody ever taught you. That is to take a C pass for history in just 10 days. The texts are very boring. Okay, that means you will have this feeling of ignoring it, or you will have this feeling of them being less important. That is the exact place the person who's making the paper is gonna take MCQ questions out of. He already knows how you think, he already knows how you study, alright? He already knows where you get bored. Hello guys, welcome to the ultimate English medium history channel in Sri Lanka. Alright, so most of you need an A pass for history, right? And some of you have just overlooked history and focused all your time on other subjects and you don't know what to do now. There's only less than a month left for the exam, right? So you must be wondering, from where do I start? How do I start? Okay, which units I should study? So let's talk about those things in this video. So there's only one way that you can get a C pass for O levels in 10 days. That is by committing yourself for at least 5 hours a day studying history just for 10 days. I'm going to show you how it's going to happen by learning this book. That is because 60%, 55 to 60% of your O level exams history paper is made out of grade 10 content. And you must be wondering why they ask so many questions from grade 10. Do you know why? Because you've already forgotten what you've learned in grade 10 and they know it. Remember these units and study these units first, alright? Unit number 1 is also very important in grade 10. Why? Because there will be MCQs. Definitely the first 3 to 4 MCQs will be from unit 1, alright? And for essay questions, now this is where you get stuck, right? And also for map marking, for pictures or the figure writing, those things you need to learn all these units, right? Basically you focus all your time on learning these units because there will be many questions covering these units. And also guys, it is very important to read the whole book and understand, which you can do within 10 days, alright? If you spend 4 hours a day studying this book continuously for 10 days, you're gonna easily finish reading this book and fully understand it. Make sure you take notes while you read the book, alright? Many of you must be wondering, how do I study, where do I start? Now how to actually get this done? Now we all know that, like, okay, you've decided on studying a particular unit and you sit down on the table and you start, turning the pages of the book, right? Then you go on reading, okay? So you see the important parts now. You've been going to school for like 11 years and you already know what are important and what are not important, right? So, okay, here's the trick guys. For MCQs, alright, now when you start reading, okay, we already know, everyone already knows that you guys know what to highlight and what to write on your short notebook and everything, right? That is general knowledge, okay? But at a particular time when you read the book, okay, you feel bored, you feel sleepy, you feel like you want to go to the bathroom. That is because some parts of the text are very boring, okay? That means you will have this feeling of ignoring it, or you will have this feeling of them being less important. There you go. That is the exact place the person who's making the paper is gonna take MCQ questions out of, right? Because he already knows how you think, he already knows how you study, alright? He already knows where you get bored, and that is the exact place he's gonna pick questions for MCQs. When you go on reading the book, you see bullet points. There are certain points under bullets, right? Now what are bullet points? Things like this, and notes which come under this, alright? So these points, okay, these are super important. Why are they important? Because the essay questions, alright, will definitely be pointed to those bullet points. Now what they want you to write for essay questions is mostly 90% of the time what is included in those bullet points. So whenever you see a certain thing under bullet points, let's say 3 or more bullet points, you need to remember at least 3 of those bullet points to score more marks or full marks in your essay type questions. Okay, let me keep the video very short. Okay, let me come on to map marking. Now, as you already know that map marking will give you 18 marks out of 200, that is 9 marks out of 100. Almost 10% of the paper is dedicated for map marking. That means if you know how to mark the map well, you can secure 9 marks. All right, so your target should be to score at least 7 marks out of 9. All right, at least. Okay, if you can score more than 7, that means you are a winner. All right, so let me teach you 2 basic tips that you can use to remember places in the map. All right, first of all, take your past papers book. Now, don't go further than 2016. Okay, 2016 is where the new syllabus started. So 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. All right, 2020 is yet to come. So 4 papers, guys, just 4 papers. All right, list out all the map markings, like take them in 2 separate columns. Take all the Sri Lankan map marking, Sri Lankan map places and the world map places, okay, separately. All right, so there will be roughly 12 into 4, 48 Sri Lankan map marking places, right? And 6 into 4, that's 24 world map marking places. So list out all of them, right? Why? Because I want you to do those, because there will be a big chance of 3 or 4, like in general, right? Places which will repeat from the previous years. So because of that, you need to prepare yourself first. All right, then let's go on to the other parts. Right, we have a separate video coming up on map marking, so in that I will be teaching you how to mark maps in detail. All right, so over here there are 2 ways to mark the map, that is by listing out all the places and you know the place, and then find out the place in the map, right? So this is how you find a place in the map. Now when you have Colombo written somewhere, all right, you're going to open the atlas book, or you're going to open a map which is already in the textbook with Colombo, right? Then you're going to find it. Okay, you're going to find it. You're going to basically scan all the maps that are available to you to find Colombo. That's just an example. All right, now if you don't know how to mark Anuradhapura, or if you don't know how to mark Jambakola Patana or Dambakola Patuna, right, find them in the map, right? Find them in the map. Take your textbook, mark all the, with the sticky notes. You can buy a sticky note from the bookshop, and then mark all the Sri Lankan maps in that book. All right, so mark where you can find the Sri Lankan maps and scan through all the Sri Lankan maps in order to locate Anuradhapura or Dambakola Patana or Jambakola Patana or Matota or Colombo or Gimhanatitta, wherever you want to find, right? Okay, that is one way that you can use to remember places in the map. Now once you have found it in a map, in a real map, okay, in the textbook, right, there's a big chance that you will link this word with the place, graphically in your mind. Okay, that is one way to find places and mark in the map, right? There's another way. All right, this is I personally believe that this is the best way. All right, that is by linking something that you don't know, a place that you don't know. For example, if you don't know where Sri Jayawardhanapura Kotte is, right, if you don't know where Polgolla is, okay, you can link it to a place, or you can link that word or the place to a place that you already know, near that area. Okay, so for example, Polgolla, if I say Polgolla, you might be wondering, some of you might be wondering where it is, how can I find it? Okay, now this is how you remember it. Now if you know the major cities of Sri Lanka, right, if you know where Colombo is, okay, and if you know where Kandy is, where Anuradhapura is, where Polonnaru is, where Dambakola Patana is, where Matota or Mahatitta is, where Gimhanatitta is, okay, so if you know these places, alright, and if you found a place which you don't know, try to link them or try to connect them with the place that you already know. Now if somebody asks you where Kalaniya is or where Kalani River is, immediately what should come into your head is, okay, Kalaniya is near Colombo. Now when you already know Colombo, you can immediately group them, group what you have around Colombo under Colombo. So once you have located Colombo, it's easy for you to locate the unknown places, right? Then you can Kalani River, right? Then Jayawardhana Kotte, if you link it, if you learn how to link Jayawardhana Kotte to Colombo, that means if you already know to mark Colombo, you know that Jayawardhanapura is near Colombo, so you can mark it, okay? And if you know where Kandy is, if you don't know where Polgolla is, if you learn to link Polgolla to Kandy, then you will be able to mark Polgolla, alright? So something like that. So it's very easy for you guys to link it. You know, it's like a key, using something that you know to find something that you don't know. But group under, you know, the main cities, group what you learn under main cities, and then it's easy for you guys. You know, there's very less chance that you might commit mistakes. Okay, that is how you tackle the map marking. And there's another question which will give you 8 marks, that is the picture descriptions. Okay, basically they will give you a figure and they will ask you a few questions based on that figure. Okay, so there are more than 55, I guess there are around 55 figures in grade 10 book, and there are around 45, so altogether it makes something around 100 figures that you need to remember. Okay, so this is what I'm going to teach you to score all the 8 marks out of 200. That means 4 marks out of 100. Okay, now guys, you can see that there are many figures in the book, right? So there are more than, I think, 55 figures, right? So how do you remember all these figures? So that's a real challenge, isn't it? And look guys, so whenever you have a figure, all right, with a description, now those are very much likely to appear in the exam. Okay, if there are no descriptions, those are less likely to appear in the exam. Okay, when you are reading the book, if you found any picture with a significant description under it, or if there is a description of that picture or a story that is linked to that picture in the text, remember them very well. Okay, this is how you do it. Divide a part of your history book, like, you know, 30 to 40 pages for this purpose. Okay, only pictures, right? You're going to learn only pictures. What you're going to do is you're going to study, you're going to look at pictures, just pictures. Okay, nothing else. If you can't find information on that picture, under the picture, all right, you can scan the text and see if there's more information about that figure under within the text itself. Okay, so what you are going to do is, now for example this one, all right, so you're going to ask WH questions. So you're going to answer questions based on this figure. Okay, so you're going to record all those questions. You're going to put figure number 1. Okay, just 1, that's it, just number 1. No, don't say 1.1 or something like that. You might get confused. So this is basically the first picture that you see in the book. All right, so you can record the details or the important details. We call it the keywords. Okay, where, when, what is this, right? Where, what is it used for, right? So what is the purpose of it? Okay, who did this, and things like that. Okay, so these are the questions that you need to answer in the book. Okay, in the book you can either write the questions and answer, or you can just record the key information. Okay, that's more than enough. Recording the key information is more than enough, right? And then once you have recorded all the pictures, right, you're gonna put figure number 1 and you're gonna record all the information there. Figure number 2, and you're gonna record all the information there. Now once you do that, you will do this to all the pictures, right? Then you're gonna revise it. Okay, you're gonna read it. All right, you're gonna read it with the picture on your side. Okay, you're gonna keep the picture and you're gonna read the text. You're gonna read the key information or the keywords that is linked to the picture. All right, and then you're gonna close this and you're gonna read the description, or you're gonna read the information that you've recorded, and you're gonna imagine if you can find that picture in the book. All right, so if you can do that, if you have come to a level to be able to do that, getting 8 marks out of 200 for those 2 figure related questions is like eating a piece of cake. Alright guys, so that's the end of the special tips and tricks video, specially dedicated for those who are taking the exam this year, this March. Okay, I'll see you in another video later. Thank you. God bless you. Guys, I have made a very special model paper and I'm going to share the link with you guys in the description below, and click on it and do that model paper, and I will also be uploading the answers later on. So make sure you do all the questions, make sure you answer all the written questions especially, because I'm expecting a few questions from that this year. Right, let's see how it goes. Okay, let's see if my prediction works.